Time to go home. Cafe 13 is closed. The witching hour is nigh. Clock. I don't have a striking clock.
What's up?
Where's Geek?
Uncle Saad decided enough is enough. After what happened the other time, he's putting Geek into Outward Bound to learn some survival and self-defense.
I'm dying of curiosity. What's in there?
A message from Mr. John.
What else is in there?
Mr. John wants us to start with this.
Okay, before you start digging around, I want you to listen to me. I'm sorry I can't be with you today, but there are some things that I want you to check out. Strange things have been happening that have no explanation. And I'm starting to believe that they could be the work of a phantom.
So glad Geek isn't here. He'll be so spooked out.
Yeah, he always goes on about spooks in this cafe.
This story takes place way before my time. It happened about 30 years ago, right here in this cafe. Probably right here in this very spot. The main characters were about your age, but to really understand their motivations and feelings, you'd have to put yourself in their shoes and transport yourself back to the 70s. There was a girl called Sweet, a student and part-time worker at the Copetiano. Her colleague was B, who was the exact opposite of her. Bossy, short-tempered and terribly jealous.
Go buy sugar.
But I gotta clear the mess and the bread.
Do that later. Go now.
The cafe was owned by B's uncle, and this she took on as a right to boss others around. Life was not terribly wonderful for Sweet.
The bread is burning.
Into this domestic unbliss, one day walked a young American. The first person he met was B. The second was Sweet. And that's when the music really started.
Go turn down the radio. What are you standing there for? Go buy sugar.
Over the next 2 days, their paths never crossed again. And on the third day, the timing was perfect.
Where are the stamps? Why were you late?
Traffic jam.
You were walking. Why would traffic jam affect you? You went to eat ice kacang again? Open! Open! What were you doing? What were you doing?
I followed them.
Who's them? You saw Sui with the American.
Shortly after that, Sui disappeared. So did the young American.
So they eloped? That's wonderful. And very sweet.
I think there's more to it.
Shh, listen on.
Something must have happened to Sui. And probably something bad. Because last night, she came back to the cafe.
Are you Sui?
Check out what else is in the box, huh?
So, this is supposed to be from her? I can't take it anymore. No way forward, only one way out.
That's it?
Yeah.
She killed herself? Over a total stranger? But why?
Well, life with that bee must have been hell. She might have been a emotionally fragile person.
I'm sure she's a much stronger person. Maybe something else happened. Maybe she was jilted. Maybe she and the young American promised to elope. But he didn't show up. And that's why she killed herself.
Well, I don't think the guy's a scumbag. He was probably a Marine, and they have a code of honor. Something must have gone wrong. Where's Sui? It's okay. Where's Sui?
I don't know.
Can you please make sure she gets this message? Okay. Thank you. He probably had to leave in the last minute. He might have left a message, probably with someone else.
What's that in your pocket? Give me! What's that in your pocket? Bring me the pen and paper.
The note was probably intercepted. A fake one was written. Sui went to meet the dude, but ended up in the wrong place. And that's why she felt jilted. It was a sabotage.
But that guy can't be that stupid. If Sui didn't show up, it's because she didn't get the message. Why couldn't he call?
Hello, 70s, no mobile phones?
Yeah, but don't they have those huge, big orange telephones in the kopitiam?
Yeah, which no one answers. I'm thinking of that B person. Not satisfied with spoiling the meeting plans, she went one step further. She character assassinated Sui.
Joe!
She probably went to meet the guy. She must have spread some vicious gossips about Sui. Told him she was a loose girl or something like that. And then she offered herself. This was her passport to America. She wasn't going to let go. He didn't want her. He wanted Sui. She must have killed Sui and faked the suicide letter.
This isn't a 70s smell.
You mean you know a 70s smell?
Mom grew up in the 70s. I know what's a modern day smell like. Went to a perfume making class once. This is chamomile and green tea. Like a body mist.
You are so right, Jeanette. Imagine a poor student working part-time in a kopitiam. She wouldn't have perfume on her, would she?
And if she wanted to make a lasting impression, she would use something stronger, like rose or musk.
This ink is not fountain pen. The lines are very well controlled. And no blotting. It is a gel pen. But this was invented in the 80s. A 70s kid will most probably use a ballpoint pen. We didn't have fast food then, but we sure have a lot of ballpoint pens.
So this letter may be a fake.
It is a fake.
Then, if Sui didn't kill herself, who did?
The same person who is haunting the cafe.
I'm thinking it's B.
Or the American. The past is catching up with him or her, and he or she is covering up his or her tracks.
You guys should listen to the end of Mr. John's story.
We don't know what happened to the American. Presumably he's dead. Some say his spirit still haunts the cafe at night. Was he killed in battle? Did his soul come back to search for Sui? Or did he come back to avenge Sui? One thing I can tell you. Sui disappeared under mysterious circumstances. And as for me, well, she's alive and well. And only a few people know it. But today, she is the owner of Cafe 30.
What?
So B owns the cafe. But why would she want to haunt her own cafe?
I always thought Mr. John owned the cafe.
Nah, he said it many times. He runs it for a friend.
But how can Mr. John be friends with such a nasty person?
Why can't Mr. John just talk to B? If she owns the cafe, he should just go ask her about this mystery.
Well, I'm guessing he can, otherwise he wouldn't be asking us to solve it.
Who puts this pile of old stuff here?
Either Mr. John or it's left in storage.
Mostly announcements.
12 o'clock. AM or PM?
Most probably when the haunting starts.
Meaning that's when Sui died?
You know what's so annoying about this case? We have to make so many assumptions. Isn't there just one single concrete fact? We don't even know if the girl died, when, where, what time. Just like a wild goose chase.
Very challenging.
I'm just gonna search for a missing person report.
Hey, check this out. Mr. John recorded the haunting sounds.
That sounds like a keyboard.
Everything sounds like keyboard.
She's right. Keyboard. I'm gonna freshen up.
I'm sure you missed something important. Something obvious.
What?
What?
The eyes! They're following me! It's an optical illusion.
How come we never noticed this before?
Like what you said, we missed the obvious.
No wonder Geek always feels a presence here.
See that kid with the Viewmaster? Isn't that a clue that it's an optical illusion?
Look! Aren't they similar? Whoever painted this mural also wrote on this old newspaper, which was from the 70s. You know, there is someone we have not thought about in this whole story. The Kopitiam kid. The one bullied by B.
Yeah. Is that him?
Maybe. An apron. Who else wears an apron except for someone that works in the kitchen?
An artist? Double.
Maybe he's the one who died. Maybe his ghost is here.
You know, if this is set at 12 o'clock, assuming that is the time Sui died, then it's not right. I mean, 12 o'clock is not 12 o'clock. I mean the time zone. In the 70s, 12 o'clock was 11:30. We only changed our time zone in the 80s. My point is, if Sui was killed at midnight, the haunting should start at 12:30, not 12.
Maybe it's just a symbolic 12. Ghosts are not particular about time zones.
Maybe it's carelessness. Someone who wants to scare us forgot about the little details that will make it convincing.
Set up, set up, set up. I'm so fed up with all this setup. Who is doing the setup?
Who are you?
The owner sent me here. Repair the roof.
Is that right? Who's your boss?
The owner,
And who's the owner?
a woman.
You have something.
Don't touch!
You like ice kacang? You used to work here, didn't you? Maybe you can tell me a little bit more about Sui.
I was there the day she disappeared. Sui was waiting for her American to take her away.
Go buy sugar.
At 12 o'clock, we sent her out.
You mean now?
Yes, now.
She knew he was coming for her. Sui told me to pass a message to him. Ask him to wait for her.
Where's Sui?
She was watching me like a vulture. That's all. When the American turned up, I couldn't say a thing to him. Luckily, he knew my meaning and left me a message.
What is that? Give it to me! What is that? Give it to me!
But then, V forced me to show her the message.
Give me the pen and paper.
Then she created a fake message. She left it for Sui. And poor Sui. She ended up waiting and waiting for him. He never showed up.
So I was right. Is that when she killed herself?
The story is not finished. That's horrible, B. She went to meet the American and told him lies about Sui. Dirtied her good reputation. On that day, I had enough. Justice had to be done. It had to be done by me. After B went to see him, I told him the truth. Told him it's not too late. Still can find Sui. They either met and walked into the sunset together, or they didn't meet. They missed and never saw each other again. I don't know which is the right ending. I never saw her again. I never saw him again.
But why are you pretending to be the ghost? You are the one haunting the place, right?
From that day on, I never go back to Kopitiam again. I became a painter. I wanted to be an artist, but never have the training. I painted props for shows. I did special effects. Then one day, I met Mr. John. He said he managed a cafe and wanted me to paint something for him. Wow. It was such a shock that I come back here again. I thought he owned the place. But then, one day, I was painting an office when I found an old box. Inside, I found a letter. I don't know how he got there. But the letter was a will from B's uncle. He wanted Sui to have the cafe, not B. I knew the cafe was now owned by B. I saw my old signature. I decided to leave her a message. I drew the picture of myself to show that I can see beyond her lies, and the picture of Sui to show that she may not be here in spirit, but she's looking at B all the time.
That's sweet.
I'm not a good artist. It doesn't look like me on home.
But why the hauntings?
Because of two things. One night, while working late, I saw the ghost of the American. And then, a few weeks ago, I saw a shadow that really looked like Sui. They are back. This is a sign. I must do justice. If Sui is back, then this cafe should belong to her and not B. I've decided to haunt this place so that B will give away this kopitiam that doesn't belong to her.
Well, I suppose that's cheaper than hiring lawyers.
Yeah, and being a prop maker, you know all the tricks of the trade. Fake suicide letter, moving glasses.
Well, I'm sure you're not alone in the fight for justice. If you let Mr. John know, he'll be on your side.
Are you Sui? You are Sui.
Should I be?
That means Nathan is your son. Did you marry the American?
It is the past. Best to be forgotten.
But what happened after you left?
You think you find true love, and you ride off into the sunset. But don't forget that after the sunset, night comes.